My question is to Sreeram Chaulia now. Sreeram, you see, how do you read this entire situation? The Prime Minister suddenly going to the line of actual control, to the forward posts, addressing the Jawans. What's your reading? What's he saying? What is the larger messaging here? Politically, what is the messaging? And when I say politically, it's not just domestic, but also international politics. What is your sense?
The big point, the big picture is that we are not letting this issue cool off. You know, the Chinese have been sending signals last few days that disengagement talks have happened, Corps Commander level agreement has happened, and both sides are now acting soberly, and we are going to be, implementing a plan. That's the message they are putting out. But they obviously, knowing the Chinese, we know that they talk up the good talk of normalization, but in terms of their withdrawal and pullback from some of the points of incursion, they have not yet done so. So they are, I think, playing a game of wanting to institutionalize a new status quo, the post-April status quo to some extent. So Prime Minister going there is sending a clear signal to the Chinese side that at the highest levels, we have not given up. And we are not now going to let this cool off, in a sense that, let it lie low, say that, well, it's a process, it will go on until the winter and so on. We want, and if the Corps Commanders have set a timeline, we want it to be implemented. It is showing a sense of urgency on our part, Gaurav. It is showing a sense that we are the aggrieved party and they are the aggressor. It's showing the Prime Minister's presence at the front lines is also telling Xi Jinping that we are not going to take it lying low. So I think giving it a profile, because
I want you also to give us the details, especially if you look at it as an international perspective. Whenever we have Indian leaders, even if they visit the post there in Arunachal, China has always raised objections.
Prime Minister making one thing very clear, that Galwan Valley is ours. He has made it apparently clear to Beijing that their expansionist policy, Sreeram Chaulia, cannot be accepted in today's time. He has said that do not underestimate our peace for our weakness. Sreeram.
Yeah, I will take two major points from the Prime Minister's speech. First, like you rightly said, he said the expansionist era is over. And he said history shows expansionist powers bite the dust. That's, I think, as direct a punch as you can get to a superpower like China. Second, he said that our enemies have seen the fire and fury of the Indian army. Fire and fury is a term that, the Americans often use, and Trump has sometimes used against North Korea. Today, Prime Minister, in his Hindi speech, used the English terms fire and fury. And I think when he says fire, it has a deeper meaning, because, there is a protocol at LAC that we don't actually use firearms. But he's, in a way, indicating to the Chinese that if you don't step back, if you don't respect our red lines, you may even see our firepower, because we have said that the rules of engagement have changed. The third and the last thing I want to mention is, Prime Minister said that Indian army, when it is strengthened, our military, when it is empowered, it is not for expansionism. He said it is to achieve peace. So this is the mantra of peace through strength. He mentioned that our border infrastructure spending has been tripled under his regime. And we are going to do it even faster. So the pretext of the Chinese for the incursion in the first place was that, Indians are upgrading their border infrastructure. What we are saying is we are totally undeterred. And I want to use the phrase Prime Minister used. He said, fearless and immovable. Nidar or adig in Hindi, he said. Adig means what? Adig is, we stay our position. You are not going to browbeat us and push us back and use your psychological games to try and psych us out. So, peace and protection of humanity. Narendra, that was the last point. He said, our military is for protection of humanity. He showed how the whole country is behind our soldiers. And I think the Chinese already are psyched out, because their Zhou Lijian, their spokesman, has said that we oppose any kind of acts that may vitiate the atmosphere and make any moves. And he's even given a statement saying that we were looking to lower the temperature.
Absolutely, Sreeram.
Narendra Modi has raised the temperature today.
Chaulia, the message is loud and clear.
The Chinese are saying we want to lower the temperature after occupying parts, after doing incursions. Narendra Modi is saying we will not lower the temperature until you go away, until you are evicted. So I think that is the big
the point. You need to de-escalate, Sreeram Chaulia. The message has been given back to Beijing that it's you who needs to de-escalate.
Resolve at the lowest level. Prime Minister saying we'll take it to the highest level. No compromise.